Hello and welcome back to my video diary about making a record. So in previous episode I said that in this episode I will be starting drum recordings. But like Arnie in this critically acclaimed movie Commando said, I lied. Because there's one major thing left to discuss before I can embark on the journey of recording. And it's basically the question of what I'm gonna record with. The normal answer would be, of course, my computer, DAW. That's what I've always used. Well, nowadays DAWs have gone basically into an open environment, one could say. The options inside DAWs are basically endless. Like the track number is practically endless or limitless, and you can put as many plugins and effects on the project as you wish, or how much horsepower your computer has. And you can do like 30 different takes of one instrument on one track. You can put like 200-300 tracks of things into your song. And what else? You can route things however you please. You can revisit and change everything you've done, even in the beginning of the project. So it's very open. The whole thing is very open. And with that freedom and that limitless space, you are faced with certain responsibilities. And that's a problem for me, because I love to create. I love to pour myself into the song. I love to perform and record things. So I might end up with lots of things. And I hold all those things very dearly. So in kind of a way, I'd need a producer, because the producer would tell me that, oh, get rid of that, keep only that. That's the main thing, that we will focus on that. But because I'm doing all myself, I'm also the producer, and it's impossible for me to control myself in that fashion. If I'm in the lead, I want to use them all. And because I have the option to use them all, of course I'm using them all. More is more, you know. So in the end, when I'm recording the tracks for a song, I usually end up with lots of different ideas and things I want to use. And in the end, the song will like grow towards the end, and there will be multiple different ideas and layerings of ideas playing on top of each other. And that's not basically a problem. I love the ideas, and I know the ideas can work together. They're not like so much they're matching each other in a way, but they're still the grandeur grand idea I'll have for the ending of the song, usually it starts there. The sound of the mess starts creeping because there's so much stuff in it. And at that point, there's really two options I can do. The one is, of course, the most obvious. Get rid of everything except the most important and main thing. Well, that's not happening because all of those are most important for me, and after I'm starting to take out stuff, it feels so naked, and that is very uninspiring for me, because I've put all my creative thoughts and ideas and love to this song and these things, and now I'm taking them out. So I don't like to think about it in that kind of a cold way. So that's not gonna happen. I've tried it, but I kind of lose my interest in the song and just leave it be unfinished. The second option, of course, to try and make it all work out. So basically it's called mixing. You're trying to mix everything into a golden pile of shit instead of brown pile of shit. So, but at that point also, mixing is not a, well, in my mindset, mixing is not a creative or fun process for me. I know it can be for some people, it can be the most fun part. I'm not denying that, but for me that's not something I can get the fun out. And yeah, at that point when I'm trying to mix everything together and make it work, make it sound big and nice, that's also the point where I'm starting to lose interest in the song and in the creative process. So then it also happens that I'll leave the song to be. I'll put the song aside, unfinished, and start doing something else. So that's also my curse. That's one of my curses that why I haven't been able to finish my songs. Now I love limitations, and I think limitations are beneficial for you, but I don't like to force limitations upon myself. The limitations should be, in a way, natural, and not like I could use like DAW, like, okay, I'm just gonna use 8 tracks for this song and no more, 8 tracks, and I will keep myself within those 8 tracks. But yeah, it feels so forced, and it's like I just double click on the DAW and I can get the 9th track. So easy. Why would I constrain myself with only 8 tracks inside DAW? That doesn't really create a spark in me. So those kind of forced limitations are something that I don't quite like. But the natural limitations, for an example, in the previous episode where I showed you my drum set, that's a huge limitation. but it's a natural one because I want a real sound and I enjoy to play that kit, but it doesn't sound like a big real acoustic drums. It doesn't have any toms, it doesn't have hi-hats. It's very basic and simple, and I'll have to cherish it that way because it sounds real and that's what I want, but those are the limitations of it also. So that's like a natural limitation I'm facing, and I'm all up for it. So in the vein of limitations, and to now reveal what is it that I'm gonna record with. Let me show it. Okay, here it comes. This is my recording tool. It's a 4-track cassette recorder. It's the Tascam 424 Mark II. It uses these basic cassette tapes, and you can only do 4 tracks with it at a time. This is pretty awkward position. But that's a thing I'm gonna do my album with. And I love the fact that I can work with 4 tracks at a time. After 4 tracks, I have to commit and make a decision how those 4 tracks are going to be mixed. And then I can bounce those 4 tracks out, and if I need more tracks, I'll bounce the mix of those tracks into a 1 track, and then I'll have another 3 tracks available for me. And I really like that idea. I've had this one for a little while now, and I've done some testings and recordings with it, and I just love the way it sounds. It's not hi-fi, but it's certainly not also a very lo-fi. It's got this tape hiss, which is very evident, in fact, and you have to be very careful when you're recording that you set your levels well, so you don't introduce too much of this tape hiss. And it's got this natural compression of the tape also, and maybe a bit of tape saturation if you push it too far. And all in all, it's very simple and inspirational tool for me. And yeah, let me draw you a diagram of my game plan with this. Okay, so let's start with the most obvious. This is our DAW. This is where I'll be having my demo track. I'll be having my acoustic guitar and vocals and the click track. And from there, I will make a bounce. I will record the demo track with the click into the tape recorder. Let's say we have these tracks here. And in fact, I'll be recording this onto track 4 of the tape. So then it will be a demo track here. Now, and after that, I'll be recording drums on this track, and I'll be using this 4th track as my reference track, and I'll be recording drums in mono. Okay, and then I'll be recording acoustic guitar, and after that the bass guitar. And these 3 instruments are the main driving force in this record. And this first palette is gonna be a mono palette, so I'm gonna mix everything in these 4 tracks into a one mono track. So after I've recorded these 3 tracks, I'll be recording over this because I don't need this anymore, and I'll be doing lead vocals. Now, when I'm writing down like lead vocals, I might do some additional bits simultaneously, like doing some guitar doubling or some percussions, whatever suits the song or whatever I feel like I can include in this center section. I mean, in panning wise or stereo image wise, this is the center section. Well, let's say there's only the lead vocals now. So after that, I will have also, there's tracks 5 to 8 also in this Tascam tape machine, but they are not something that you are able to record on tape. They are like the effect sends. So I will use, there's 2 effect sends. I will use the first effects and the second effects also with this. So I will send signals from these to these sends, and I will be using delay and reverbs and possibly something extra, let's say like an octave pedal. And one thing that's also cool with this is that I can use my guitar pedals very easily with this machine. I just plug my guitar pedals into these effect loops. So I've in past I tried to use the octave pedal with the lead vocals just to give it a fatter sound, and it worked really well. And the delay and reverb works great with drums, acoustic guitar and lead vocals. So I will use these inside this mix. And now, when I'm happy with the balance and the effects, I will do a live mix down or bounce, however you want to call it. So I will send one mono out from this track back to my DAW. So I will be using the help of the computer to maintain this process or to manage this process. And I will be sending this whole mix through one of my compressors. I have this 1176 style of compression unit, and I will use that as a kind of a glue for all this mix. And now and this goes in a way that I will be playing the whole mix and mixing it on fly. So if I wanna put drums quieter in verses, I will pull the fader a bit down while it's playing. And that, very old school mixing. And after that, when it's recorded into the DAW, I can clean it a bit. Meaning that there will be some fade ins, let's say fade in and fade out. These are the things I think I have to do here, and this is very convenient to do inside the DAW, because there will be some noises in the beginning before the track starts, and the fade out. When the track ends, there will be some noises, and I just try to fade it out so I don't record the tape hiss back to the tape and make it 2 times louder. Okay, after this I will take another session, clean one, and I will play it from the DAW and record it on track 1. So now on track 1 we will have this, let's call this a mix A. Let's put it here, mix A. And this will be our mix B. And this is our center track, so to speak. So now I'll have these 3 tracks available, and I can use them in any way I see fit. I can do some electric guitars, I can do some keys, I can do some harmony vocals, I can do some percussions, I can do more percussions, and put all kind of extra things there also. Whatever I feel like the song needs. And now I'm also using another set of effects. Most certainly I will be using delay and reverb again, and this remains to be seen. I can also do these separately, like I can put delay in there and reverb here, so I can control them separately, whatever. But this time I can use panning, so this will stay center and these will be panned however feels best. So let's say these are like that way. And also the return signals of these effects will be in stereo now. So I can even send this mix A to the delay and reverb, and when these are panned hard left and hard right, like they are in very wide stereo field, I can pull some stereo feel and width to also this center track. So I can make this whole thing sound big, large, perhaps. And again, after I'm satisfied with this whole thing, and I feel like, okay, the balance is right, and I feel like I can pull off the live mixing, I will record it into the DAW again, but this time I'll be recording stereo signal. And this time I'll be using, I've got this, well, in fact I don't even got this yet, but I'm building it right now, but I'm having this SSL style bus compressor, stereo bus compressor. So that will be used as like the final compressor before it hits the DAW. And you know what happens after that? We will type mastering and question mark, because I'm not certain at this point that will I try and master it myself, or will I use some mastering services for that. But whatever the case is, the song is finished. And we will put a star here and a smiley face. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can understand how excited I am for this, because this is like this is so clear and so easy and simple, and well, this is the roadmap here is so clear. I know how to get from this demo track into the finished song, and it only needs these steps, and it's, let's say, I'm gonna be very precise, it's gonna be 99.5% about performing. Because this is the most important thing here. With crappy performance, you cannot get anything good out of these. But with good/great performance, you will have great finished product. So that's the way I'm going onward. Yes, that was it. That's my game plan, and I hope you are liking this mumbo jumbo, and if so, then please subscribe, click the bell icon and give me thumbs up. And in the next episode we will be starting using this bad boy, and I'll be trying to cope with the drums I have. So, till then, cheers!